I've told people on YouTube before that I'm planning to probably move to Sweden, but yeah, there is a center. What is my computer struggling to? It's thinking about something. I don't know what it's thinking about. I keep check Control Delete again. MS Met. I always worry that there's like some virus in my computer when it's taking up a lot of memory for no reason. That maybe there's something that's God knows what could be running on it. I don't see anything,
Mm.
but it probably could hide itself from Task Manager if there was. Who knows? Maybe it's NSA listening, and I don't know. Probably not. I'm being ridiculous and facetious, but yeah. It's funny how much history is repeating like itself almost precisely. Like what happened 100 years ago. Like now, fascists are on the rise in Europe again, almost exactly 100 years after the first time, and now there's like popular fronts keeping them out of power in a bunch of countries again, like happened in say France before World War II, where there was like the far right and the air quote far left, the communists and the fascists are both on the upswing in France, and so a popular front
Yeah.
formed against the fascists who were more dangerous, and the Democrats and like meanwhile in Germany they failed to form a popular front and the Nazis took over. It's like, but there's so much, which is probably what's going to happen in Germany. I am not confident that I think they formed a kind of like a D Linke and the Social Democrats working together, but that's a fragile alliance, especially because historically the SPD murdered members of the KPD in the
Yep.
1920s. And like the D Linke is the direct descendant of the KPD in a way. I mean, they had to rename and restart their party after the KPD was ruled unconstitutional by the Supreme Court in Germany, but they were with
Right.
they could start a new party with a new name, but because of its historical ties to the Soviet Union, it's ridiculous. It was just some
Was the
blatant
KPD in charge of uh, Eastern Germany?
uh, K- KPD is was in charge. The Communist Party of Deutschland. They had a presence in the Western Germany. They may have actually, yeah, they were the party before World War II, the Communist
Yeah.
Party. And when they got split, yeah, I think they became the ruling party of the East. In the West, they were still a political party until I think it was like the 60s. Some right wing government move. I think it was a right wing president of West Germany at the time, like tried to ban the KPD, and then the
Uh,
KPD took it to court, and they basically won the lawsuit. And the Supreme Court said, "Well, yes, you can ban the KPD because it's tied to the Soviet Union, but you're allowed to form a new party. It's basically the same people, the same politics. You just have to call it something new." And so that's what Die
yeah.
Linke is. It's the descendant of that. Like I think they went through a period of instability of like what should we call the new party, and there was some fragments, so it did weaken the left in Germany, which was kind of the point of
Yeah.
this, was to weaken the left. It was bullshit. It's not really about the Soviet Union. No, no, no. It was really about anti-communism and keeping the left weak so that they couldn't like fight for welfare and better like trade labor protections. But yeah, so the point is history is repeating itself, and I don't want to go to Spain because there's risk of fascists like taking over or trying a coup or something like, which is historically happened. Like the left, the socialists, the air quote socialist, but it was really a center left party that called itself socialist, got elected in Spain, and then there was the Spanish Civil War because the right wing refused to accept this election victory, and so they,
Yeah.
and that's how Franco started the Spanish Civil War. Like, well, Franco was recruited by if you play in Hearts Iron 4, it actually Mola, I think he was like the leader of the far right, like the fascists, and he led, like he was one of the leaders. Him and some other Rivera, like there were these group of right wing people, and they actually recruited Franco into. They were already plotting the civil war, and which is a literally a focus you can take whether to recruit Franco or not in Hearts and Forbes. So that part is historically accurate. But yeah, the far right refused to accept the socialist victory, and so they did a coup, and then they took Franco, and Franco ended up like actually killing off some of the leaders of the far right and personally taking power, like
Oh
either
yeah.
sending them to certain parts of the front where they conveniently got killed, or like, you know, or failing to do a prisoner exchange. Like he intentionally got all the like the competing leaders killed, and then he made himself dictator. And
Oh,
then you the Francoist model of an independent, far like right-leaning, not quite fascist, but almost fascist dictatorship. That was, and that was the Francoist model, which
yeah.
is also referenced in that game. That part is also historically accurate. Um. Oh, interesting question. Shira is a Tigran. Shira the Bard. Sorry, we've been bullshitting too long. It's
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
She can move onto Baron's Talus for 3 movement, right? It only costs her
Yep.
3.
She does have more movement. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so she can move 1 tile further to the west, so she doesn't have to move as far to reach the gold mine next turn. So she can see what's on the watchtower, maybe, or that might still be out of her movement, out of her line of sight, but just see more that way. Yeah, like, cool.
Yep. All right.
Is that, what is that, a
Good.
mushroom or rose that's growing there? Sorry, just a little
Oh,
map. It's not a real, like, map item. I just noticed where the fertile
yeah.
plains hits the Arctic. It looks like it's a mushroom, I think.
Yeah, it looks like there's some mushrooms there.
Yeah. Um, little things like that in a battle map, you might find mushrooms in it. It's just weird little things. Anyways, you were talking about underground before.
Yeah. What should I do with my shock serpent? Should I have it explore to the east?
Oh, the shock serpent that got turned into a ghoul.
Yeah.
Although it did get its health back from that. Yeah, I would just see what's the east. That thing is highly disposable at this point. It's like even worse than normal shock serpent because it
Yeah.
can't heal. And who cares if it gets eaten by a spider or something at this point? Might as well use
Yeah.
it as a cheap scout. Plus, the shock serpent is
All
a
right.
pretty garbage unit to begin with.
I can go prospecting.
One thing at a time, I would select the heroes because you can move your armies in anywhere,
Oh,
not the ones that goes. The heroes
yeah.
that are near that shock serpent because I'm looking at them.
Should I have them return to full gold?
Bu- 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 bu-
Take
bu-
out
bu- bu-
these enemies.
Return the Fugold and what?
Take out the archons. Take out the humans.
Yeah,
Clear
it's
the
gonna
site.
be a while till you're ready to do that, especially if you're mixing in like. But yeah, I would move them back to Fugold probably so because soon you're gonna want to probably train a settler, and you're gonna need to escort the settler to the
Yeah.
surface and still leave a decent garrison in the city. So,
All right.
yeah, because let's see where that's. I'm trying to see where the nearest cave entrance is. Uh, page down can scroll underground. Page up above. Ah, yeah, page down, page up. I just realized that keyboard shortcut. Yeah, actually, that's a reasonably safe stretch of road. It just goes to my vassal city. But yeah, you probably should at least settlers are expensive if something manages to kill them.
Yeah, I don't want to risk losing them.
I might give it a week escort. Like I don't know, maybe not. That's actually a very safe stretch of road. But yeah, still, you're gonna want to defend that city. I don't know if the Archons can. The Haunted Boneyard, undead arise in this boneyard. I think yeah, you'll periodically get attacked by Archon stacks, and they're pretty tough. So you
Yeah.
probably want to be ready. Um,
Yeah, that's why I've been building lots of axemen.
yeah. Um. Oh, that dirt goes way up to the. Yeah, you could probably dig a little, like another. I'm trying to think if you'd want to, because yeah, you probably want to stay to the east there. You probably dig like another tile northeast with that prospector next turn, and you could build a city up there. But
Yeah.
yeah, in fact, they'd be happier there than in that mountain valley on the surface. So that's probably the first dwarven city you might settle. It's like up on that tunnel near the top of the map, or the one that you're digging southeast. You could start doing dwarven settlers soon, is what I'm saying. Since you need to expand your dwarven population so that you can do even more settlers, there's a lot of really good spots for dwarves on this map. So
Yeah.
And I know
Where
you
should,
were,
what should I
and
do
they,
with the other prospector?
uh, hmm. I might dig a couple more tiles in a straight line like it's been going to the southeast there.
Yeah.
And you're getting gold for all this, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And that's a good spot for a city right there. It's like you could build a city there and it could get that magma forge fairly easily. Like after it either grew or you built stone walls on a fort before or whatever. And it's gonna be a little bit till you can clear that magma forge
Yeah.
anyhow. So you need to get some units down there.
Okay.
Yeah. And since these cavern walls make the city happier if it's dwarven, yeah, I would just backtrack down the tunnel now at this point. Um, you might, if, yeah, say, yeah, well, no, you probably want to leave those dirt for when the city expands. Yeah, I would just, yeah, next turn it can stop by the hasteberries and then just get back in the city to help garrison it against possible Archon stacks. So,
Well, the city's
um,
full.
yeah, you can
Just
garrison a city with more than 6 units. You just put them on the units on the outskirts,
okay.
and if any one of them is attacked, you get a city battle. You can, if a city has no terrain next to it, you can potentially defend a city with up to 42 units.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, cities can have huge garrisons if you want by making use of the outskirts rule. Uh, but what is Fugal building?
Um, it's building Axemen.
Another axeman? Hmm.
Yeah, I just queued up like 4. I could
How
build
long?
something else.
How long until it grows? It's at 7,075.
11 turns.
Oh, that's a little bit. Yeah.
Housing will knock it down to 8.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I
How
could
many?
just build a storehouse. Yeah, it could use a storehouse.
How many? You might think about stone walls, especially with the archons nearby. How many? Because that'll make the
Oh yeah,
gates stronger of the
it'll
city, I
make them
think.
happier as well.
Oh yeah, because you have a racial happiness.
Mhm.
That's right. Some stone walls. How many turns would stone walls take?
Just 2.
Just two.
Yep.
Um. Hmm. Right. I was gonna say next turn you might want to the ancient runes to the northeast might be worth clearing.
Oh yeah,
Um.
that's true. I do have a 6 stack here, and some heroes on the way that can help. I could swap one out. Do either of these heroes benefit the whole stack?
I don't know. You'd have to look at their abilities.
Hmm.
Nature's resistance. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Alwyn gives +1 resistance to the stack. So yeah, when she gets back, you could clear those ancient runes, especially with the dwarven axemen you're training. Uh, Also, because you have 6 units on the city center tile, the dwarven axemen will appear on a random tile of the outskirts of the city.
Yeah.
Hmm. To make it a little less random, and also because you probably want to go for the ancient runes soon-ish. You could move some of the units one tile to the east of the city center. As
Yeah.
long as you leave at least one on the city center, that'll ensure that there's still a city battle. I'm not sure if. I think if they move if the city center is undefended, they can still take the town without a city battle. But as long as you leave at least, uh, heck, if things go well, you could even consider clearing the runes with. I would definitely put all 3 dwarven axemen and the dire penguin because they're pretty good, and the dread monkey. Yeah, so I put the 3 of the. I just leave this reed serpent on the city center and have the other units all move east, stack up. Or no, the dread. Well, yeah, that's fine. As I say, the dread monkey. You could actually. Dread monkey's got more movement, but yeah, you probably wait anyhow.
All right. Should I keep making more axemen? or make that stone wall.
Yeah, no, how happy is the city? Like, what's their current happiness score?
12.
Oh yeah, it won't matter. It'll give you 100 happiness, I think, but you need 200 to actually get any benefit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would just keep making axemen for now. You may do the stone wall eventually, but yeah, you're probably gonna want to clear those runes and then clear the train post. Sorry, so yeah, the axemen will help get the forces needed for that, and they'll help 'em- you can
Yeah.
train them up in the fights this way.
Okay.
Because when they reach veteran, the dwarves gain +1 defense, which they already have effectively 15 because they're armored and they have a shield. So when they reach a veteran, they have 16 defense, and if they're guarding, which they have a defensive strikes, they often are, 18 defense. Like, the Dwarven X-Men are really, really tough against non-flanking attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are incredibly tough melee troops. I really like Dwarven X-Men. They get inflict bleeding wounds at elite rank, too.
All right. I think that's my turn.
Yeah, are there any more units that's telling you can move?
No.
Oh, what happened to that? There was a dread monkey that was on the.
Yeah, I moved. I moved them.
New York capital to stack with the. Why are the hunters on the forest there? They're none of. I'm trying to remember what
Hmm?
they were doing. New York capital. There's 2 hunters and a dread monkey, and they're all stacked up on the forest for some reason.
Yeah, they're just waiting. When next turn, once I build my last high elf hunter, I'll have 6 units, and then I will take out the ancient ruins.
6? Oh, you mean including the ones on the fort? I see.
Yeah, including the garrison on the fort.
Uh,
Unless I don't want to leave it empty, I could wait a little longer.
no, that fort's in a very safe location. I was gonna say you might so that the units can move back though quicker. Uh, because if something comes, it's probably gonna show up at the outskirts of the fort, and like you'll have a turn to get units back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unlikely, but I would move the units onto the ancient ruins now, so they're just waiting. As long as they don't enter it, that's fine. So
Oh
any
yeah.
units that have the movement to get there, I would just stack them all up now. It also is a mental reminder of what you were planning. I think the other hunter there can reach it, right? Or can it not quite?
Not quite. He can move 2 tiles.
Oh, well, 2 tiles is better than nothing.
And then emptied the fort as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they can. Can they reach the tile yet, or they can just get?
Yeah, they can in 1 turn.
Yeah.
They have forced walking, so forestry.
Yeah. Cool. This way, yeah, you already have a hunter, a longbowman, initiate in place, and then you'll have the 2 hunters and the dread monkey next turn, which should be more than enough. Those are always strong runes, so you know, it could range from like what you just fought, 4 units, to when I fought and I got a troll and 2 spiders. So
Yeah.
there's a variance involved. Could be, you
All
know,
right.
3 to 4 units. One of them might be as high as tier 3. It'll be tough, and you might lose a unit, but you'll gain 10 knowledge a turn, so it's worthwhile. What are you teching, by the way? Because
Long
one of the
strider.
long strider. How many turns left on that?
3
Oh,
still.
okay. Yeah, that you're getting close. I was gonna say that when you clear the ancient runes near Fugold, you get some knowledge and an item. It says, but it's not worth risking losing a unit just for getting long strider, which is essentially a combat buff, a little sooner.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. You got those units in the Frosting City. What's the Frosting City doing?
Two turns left for a barracks,
Ah, yeah, it's building barracks. I see.
which
And you
will
got
get it to another happiness level.
nice. That yeah. So it'll increase its income with everything. Give a multiplier to all base incomes.
Yep.
Okay, looks like
So
yeah.
I'm gonna need to build a fleet to take out these krakens.
Krakens. Oh,
Yeah, there's three
uh,
baby
y-
crack
yo, you
outside of
can
Miss.
see what's there now. Terror from the deep. The creature haunts the nightmares of sailors. Its tentacles shatter planks and crush masts. +6 damage against ships and embarked units.
So it's actually better to use animals for that.
It's better to use units that can swim. If they can't swim, it
Yeah,
does 18 damage, which is tough.
that's rough.
Like your shock serpent can swim, for instance, so it won't suffer extra damage. But yeah, that thing's really high. Those are high tier. They're well, it says tier 2, but they're almost like tier 3 in the water, really.
Yeah.
Um, it's only a baby kraken, so I'd hate to see an adult one. I've never seen a kraken
Oh
before.
God.
I'll have to read the flavor text of that later. It looks interesting. Um, yeah, you might have to wait a while, but yeah, you can deal with that
Can I
eventually.
summon animals on water?
Yeah, sometimes.
Is
But
that
I think
guaranteed to summon a water animal?
no, because you have
Oh.
seafaring, so you could summon an embarked. You can
Oh,
embark animals. They'll show up on ships.
right. That's funny. How does that even work? Like, I don't know what I gotta see. I gotta see what sea combat looks like.
We're going to find out soon enough, but I would definitely show up in force before you deal with those krakens.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's a
they're not high priority.
lost mariner and a mermaid. Those are a little easier to deal with because there's only 2 units. But I think there's a third unit that is invisible. If I remember correctly, you had something next to it before.
Hmm. I don't remember. But I'll end
Ah,
my turn
that.
now.
Oh, okay. I was just starting to read the flavor text on the mermaid. It said big breasted they may be. It was like pirate talking about mermaids, and
Yeah.
I was curious what that like. Starting with the word big breasted is of course for the male
Yeah.
mind. Big breasted they may be, ain't for flotation either. Steer clear of fishy wives. Sink any man they will, any woman too. Ain't picky. Why? Who knows what goes round their fishy brains? Blasted creatures. Lost me poppy to 'em. They do make for good ship ornaments, though. Harbor folk having their say. By no little trout fisher. Cool. Yeah,
Oh,
the
they can
Kraken
take
one had
over your
longer.
units.
What?
They can take over your units.
They can seduce, which is I
Yeah.
think once per battle they can try and it can be resisted, but yeah, if they succeed, they'll steal one of your units, which you have to kill it then. And
Yeah.
unless you have like resurrect, because yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's also what is it? Strong will ability can remove seduce. So there's a couple. I think it's considered a spirit effect. So there's a couple ways to undo seduce, but otherwise you'll have to kill the unit because they'll be charmed. But if you seduce an enemy unit, it's yours if you win the battle permanently.
Yeah.
So it works both ways. Okay, my turn. Uh, yeah, I go after you in the turn order, and then the enemies and independents go. Okay. I was wondering if there would be a, independence moving or something. Ah, yes,
Yeah.
Fairfields can join. They're now a halfling town? Looks like they're a town at this point. Yeah, I think they just grew 307 gold to join my empire. Oof. What would they give me if I
Gotta get
asked?
gotta
Hmm?
get their morale up. Their happiness.
Oh no, they're pretty happy. They're just like being greedy. They are at 530. They're trusting. If I could
Oh.
get them to 600, if they gave me a quest and I beat it, it get a little cheaper. But it's
Yeah.
expensive to integrate. Of course, they are paying me 32 gold a turn and 14 mana. So I'm already doing pretty well just trading with them as a
Yeah.
vassal. And I don't have to put units to defend the city, of course, because they're a vassal. And then it's like I've seen brigands come into their territory. They don't seem to care. The brigands mostly ignore them. So, yeah, I don't see their units don't have XP. I don't think they've killed any brigands. The brigands just ignore them. So, yeah. Oh yeah, and the Dwarven City will join me for 165 gold. Whatever. Oh, Zwabi, the Goblin outpost. What? I didn't even see this before.
The Goblin Outpost?
Yeah. They're willing to become my vassal, but it costs a pretty penny, and it's right near. Oof. Do you see Dugisius June on the map?
Yeah.
I can't select it, so it's not an independent city. It must belong to the AI at this point, like the hostile goblins.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's one of their cities.
Yeah, it's pretty big too. It looks like a proper city. And it's near a Lich King's castle, which they probably cleared. So and Hasteberries. Yeah, that could absolutely spit out goblin armies, and there's a road that leads from it straight up towards Ursfor, and from there towards Tungal in the center of the map. Yeah. Once they found the route to our cities, they're gonna probably start hitting us. They probably haven't started attacking yet because they haven't found us. Like one of my scouts found them, but they haven't found our cities yet. But yeah, keep a strong army because you could get attacked by the goblins like to hit you with tons of low quality units, so you could see 18 units come and attack you or something.
Yeah.
Could be bad. We could lose the city if we're not prepared. Have to retake it. Tungo is willing to join me. And they have a quest. We have urgent matter to discuss. Could improve relations among Cluth builders have created a watchtower without a permit. Now it's blocking our morning sun. Could you raise the thing? Wait, where's there? Do you see a watchtower on the map that wasn't there before? Near Tungal? Because usually. Oh, no, they want me to raise one of the watchtowers that's already exists on the map. East of Tungal, you see that watchtower?
Yeah, that one with the Frostlings on it?
Yeah, that would be a potentially useful, watchtower for me to control. Although I could raise it if it's... They'll either give me 41 gold or a sun guard. It would cost 40 gold just to replace the city, and their sun guard is probably not as experienced as the ones I can train. They're already friendly towards me. What's guarding it? A raider, a harpoon thrower, and an ice scaper. Excuse me, I was already going to clear this stupid thing. I just didn't want to raise the watchtower. Although I suppose if they pay me more gold than it costs to replace it, it's still a net benefit. And maybe I'll build a watchtower closer to my frontier than that.
Yeah, there's better locations for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pain, but I already have a builder on the way in that direction to build a fort, so I'll just prop up a watchtower after the fort somewhere a little further forward. All right,
That one's mostly covered by your other watchtowers anyway. That watchtower is mostly covered by your other watchtowers anyway.
By my other watchtowers. What other watchtowers?
Yeah,
You mean
you got one to the north, one to the east, one to the further west, but
the one in the east will get recaptured by brigands eventually. Further west?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That one hasn't been recaptured yet since the last time I cleared the brigands off of it.
One
Periodically, brigands... What?
Well, and one to the far south, but I guess those ones are harder to defend.
Yeah, periodically wandering enemies will come and capture towers from you, and they'll just sit
Yeah.
there defending them, which is sort of useful in that they won't go and like mess with your cities or whatever if they're busy garrisoning a watchtower they took from you. So it's got its uses to pop up watchtowers on the frontier as a like
Yeah.
sort of way to occupy wandering brigands and such and keep them from causing actual damage. But yeah, I'll probably just raise this. I'm gonna have a fort to the southeast of it, and probably another. Well, the eventually Tungal will have a big domain, so yeah, it'll all be. It won't actually give me any useful visibility. I got this Ram watchtower in the border of my. I don't even know really why I built that thing. I think when I built it, I had less stuff around here. One in my capital city. It's kind of a useless watchtower. Also, I wanted to stick a unit with True Sight there so that I could spot hidden enemies. But there aren't that many hidden enemy types. Oh well.
Oh, True Sight. It gives True Sight to the watchtower.
Yeah, if you have a unit with True Sight on a watchtower, it gets the visibility range of the watchtower, but it still has True Sight.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's like Storm Sisters are good for garrisoning watchtowers if you're worried about hidden
Yeah.
units.
Sweet.
And my support units also have True Sight, but they're pretty bad. They're not nearly as good as Storm Sisters. They're I forget. I think I can train one, or train one if I build. No, I need a temple. And I think Tiger and Mystic. Yeah, Tiger Mystics aren't great. Oh, they can shoot magic bolts. Okay, so they do fire and spirit, and their melee strikes do 333, which is a lot worse than like the more focused damage of a Storm Sister. But they can turn into Werepanthers, so that if anything tries to rush them in melee, they have projectile resistance. Yeah. And they can phase at elite rank. Yeah, I guess Tiger and Mystics aren't terrible. They're alright. They're a bit pricey for, not super cost effective tier 2 units, but I could stick a Mystic on that watchtower at some point to spot any hidden units far away. I just don't know what hidden units I would have to worry about. Oh well.
What's a Monster Hunter unit?
Oh, you can get monster hunters, can't you? Or you.
I'm just
Why?
looking at the. I'm just looking in the Tome of Wonders.
Oh, or no, can't. I think it's a
From a specific
warlord
class.
unit, isn't it? Thought monster hunters were a warlord type unit, not a druid. Or is it
Yeah, they
yours or
might be
mine?
Warlord. I don't know. That's what I meant. That's what
Yeah.
I'm curious about.
They're
They
kind of
look like
like.
Warlord.
I think they're the warlord version of hunters, sort of. They're not quite as good as hunters, but for most things, but they have extra damage against monster units, which are like a lot of the wild animals you fight. Some of the nastier ones are monsters, like ogres and
Yeah.
trolls and stuff. So they
Animal
do,
Slayer, Giant Slayer, Dragon Slayer, Face Slayer. They have a whole lot of.
yeah, they have a lot of Slayer things. So they do extra. So while their base stats aren't quite as good as a hunter, they're actually like better for combat in certain situations, like against the wildlife. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, they're not amazing. They don't have like I don't think they have longbows if you're an elf. They think they have a light crossbow as their ranged weapon, but they do more melee
Yeah,
damage.
light
Yeah.
crossbow.
So yeah, they're all right. I prefer shredders and sun guards to them, which are cheaper. They're also a tier 2 or 3 unit, but they're okay units. If I was facing some really nasty monsters, which actually there is an Elderich spawning point west of my capital. I'd also need tech and infrastructure to train them, though. I forget what building is a prereq. I can't make them right now. I think I just don't have the tech, but I might lack a building. Um. Uh. Oh yeah, since you mentioned it, I don't know what my own racial governance things are.
Is there a way I can see all of my my class-based units?
You class based? Yeah, I think if you search Druid in the Tome of Wonders, it might tell you some of the class based units you can eventually, or there's a subcategory for it. Uh,
Oh, is there just
Laboratories,
two per class?
temples. What?
Is there just like two per class? I think I might just have hunters and shaman.
And wild animals. But yeah, I would have sworn there was more, but druids might not have a ton of, since their thing is wild animals and some of their spells. Like
Yeah.
a lot of druid specific spells. You might not have a lot of unique units. Although the ones you get, hunters and shamans, are both very good, especially hunters. I forget. I think shamans have something nice, like they can awaken the spirit of an animal, right? Which gives a lot of extra attack. Um,
Um. Yeah, they have awakened spirit. They have a friend animal. They have entangling touch.
yep. So shamans they're decent support units for a druid with all your animal units.
Yeah.
But yeah, your main gimmick is lots of animals, and the way that lets you like focus your on like you can clear sites faster, and then you can build forts further, and then you can build settlers. Whereas like a warlord, I'm still like spamming units and even drafting units, which decreases my population growth when I draft from cities. It's a warlord specific spell. Um, I've kind of laid off doing that at this point, but I was doing it before, and it's slowing my population growth on my capital. But yeah, I was looking at my race governance for Tigrans. Because I'm about to next turn I gain a level, and then observatories can produce extra gold. Huh. Okay. I don't have a laboratory even, do I? And my knowledge production is pitiful. Uh. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna start working on a lab. Right? I had enough, just barely enough mana for that. Okay, a laboratory. Would have 150 for shoot. No. Well, yeah, because I don't have a guardhouse there. Yeah, I'm working on I'll do a laboratory and some more sun guards, I guess. Strong army. This feels kind of wasteful. Sun guards in a city that's nah, actually I'll do a laboratory there and yeah, guardhouse in Huntley, so I can keep spitting out sun guards, which is that good. Shooting around here. Guardhouse and a rider's hall there. Cool. Sorry, I know I was talking about build orders and you probably weren't even listening. Joe?
Yeah, I'm looking the Tome of Wonders and stuff.
Uh,
Sorry, what's up?
Yeah, I'm going to need to do a observatory soon, and I don't
Yeah.
have the mana for it. So I'm gonna need to trade for some more mana. How much do you have in reserve?
260.
Two six. Ooh. Yeah, I have been giving you most of my mana income. Uh,
Yeah.
cities and structures. Oh, you can sell forts. Because
You
I could.
can?
Yeah, I'm just looking. I could sell you one of my forts if I wanted.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so yeah, you could sell me that coastal fort that we were talking about, and I could settle halflings there eventually.
Yeah.
That could be a thing once I integrate the halfling city. If you could do the
Mm.
clover and like get gold from it, but when I have a halfling settler and it's almost to the fort, you could sell me and I could settle it. I could even sell you back the city at that point, and then you'd have halflings in your empire.
Yeah. Sweet.
Although my racial governance for the halflings would be higher, and as a gray guard, I'd get more money from them in population growth if I was still neutral. So it might be better for me to just run that city. But um, how are you doing for money? Gold,
226 I have.
226.
Yep.
Um, yeah, you could use some gold. I'm gonna gold for mana. 150 gold for 120 mana, basically, because I've got some. I'll need 50 mana next turn. I have 5. That gave me 65, and I think there's a 60 mana spell I might want to queue up. So, yeah. How much does it cost to recruit militia again? Oh, that's 30 mana. Well, still, combat spells, and you can't queue something up unless you have the mana for it. My casting points, I haven't even been using them because I haven't had the mana to cast spells or world spells even. Um, alright. Hmm. I have to clear this bloody Eldritch Circle soon. It raises such powerful units. I've been keeping strong garrisons on my borders just in case they attack me. Cool. 3 turns. That gold mine will be in range. Um, hmm. Cool. Alrighty then. So yeah, there's this stupid watchtower for this quest, and there's the mammoth. And then I can try and find where is the quest near Trequium? Like where's
Um,
the floaty thing right now? It changed the army that you have to fight moves around. So
it looks
it's
like it's next to the quarry, or between the quarry and the city.
quarry, the gold mine. Oh, the
Yeah,
quarry
that's on
is.
the right.
Oh yeah, you may. I see where. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, yeah. After I clear the mammoth, let's see. Probably gonna want to deal with these frostings very soon. Feral plains.
No, I'm screaming.
Uh, oh, got these halfling jukes to clear. I guess there's no hurry. My builder's gonna take a little while. I'll need a garrison. It's a nice watch. I wasn't gonna bother with this watchtower right away, but now that I know there's a freaking quest to do it. Yeah, so one of the things is once I do that quest, the city will like me more, and then I can demand tribute from them, and it won't lower their happiness. Already at 830, and I think the quest gets to 1030. So, and then you lose 500 for demand tribute, so it'll give me a buffer. I'll only lose 1 happiness level from them. Cool. Knowledge and items and those ancient runes. Yeah, I probably actually want to go for that before I go mine. Let's see how this fight goes. Cool. Okay, I was stacking up units near that watchtower. I'll probably fight that next, but I should probably try these mammoths. This is gonna be a hard fight. I just trying to think, get all the stuff out of the way. I might want to pull that for the next video too. Oh yeah, I have a scout underground here. Keep forgetting he even exists. Dwarven crossbone? Yeah, that is a lot of dwarves you were talking about before.
Yeah.
And that I think there was a hidden unit on that great farm at the Fell Horses. I just moved by so fast I should have double checked what it was. Oh, I can pop a unit right out into the surface now to check out what's near Trequayum. You said it's I might be able to see it.
Oh yeah, as
with
soon
my
as you
scout.
go through that, that actually would probably work. It's pretty close. Pretty close to the entrance.
Yep. Thankfully, it takes 0 movement to move up and down.
Oh wow, that's not hard at all.
Just those two. Well,
I
there could be
escaped it.
others because they're Frostlings, so they
Yeah.
Arctic
Gotta be
concealment.
something invisible there, right?
Yeah, my guess is it's like 2 ice scapers and a raider, or 2 ice scapers and 2 raiders. Like the ice scapers don't have Arctic concealment, but most of the other units do. So it's a bunch of Frostlings basically. This unit's weapons are made of enchanted frozen metal. This unit does +5 frost and -4 physical with all melee attacks. Oh, the Ice Scaper does base 10 frost damage. It's much tougher than it looks because of its frost weapons. How did I not notice that before? Yeah, I thought Ice Scapers are pretty good at regulars, and I couldn't remember why.
Wait, what do they have?
Their weapons, they have... Alright, so the Ice Scaper and the flavor text, by the way, gives you a hint of this. They have frost weapons. And the frost weapons do 10 frost damage. The damage that says they do is a lie, because it actually does -4 physical, +5 frost, unless like you buff their physical damage with a spell or something.
So does the melee strike do 0 physical and 10 frost?
Yes, which
that's weird.
Essentially -2. Well, at at veteran level, that'll be 0, 10, and then certain spells can raise it. So, like, certain spells could give them, like, Warlord's got a spell that can give, like, +4 melee damage, so they could potentially do melee damage if they had enough like other, you know. But the damage at this rank is 10 frost damage. But they also have Shatter Strike. Shatter Strike gives an additional +5 physical against frozen units, and their ice balls can freeze units.
I see.
So if they freeze you with an ice ball, and then they come in and do
Then
melee
another one
strike,
can follow up and hit you for a ton of damage.
yeah, then they'll do 2 physical, 10 frost damage at this rank, and that's the recruit rank. They're even tougher at like veteran or trooper. So yeah, they're surprisingly tough at regular units if they can freeze an enemy, which Tigrans have frost vulnerability, so they can definitely freeze Tigrans. Frost weakness. In fact, I'm gonna go back underground because there's a risk that these guys could come and kill my scout if he stays on the surface. But that's what's up there. Oof. Oh my goodness. Look to the southwest of the cave entrance. It's like this morbid statue. It looks like a Grim Reaper statue. I thought that was a giant unit for a second. No, it's just a statue. But it's like some necromantic thing. Ugh. Yeah, creepy looking. Alright, well. Saving. I'll do 2 saves because I never remember how long ago I made these and what I've done. And I might just overwrite one later. 51 minutes, so I'm going to cut the YouTube video and then I'll do the mammoth battle in the next video. Are you cool to hang around for that battle? Or it's getting late for you? Because the mammoth battle might take a while. It's going to be a harder one.
Yeah. Well, my nephew has been pestering me, seeing if I want to play. So I could go play with him. But I don't know. I could keep playing this too and tell him that I'm busy right now. I don't know.
I don't want to keep him waiting for a long spell. I could just do the watchtower. It's a quicker battle, and next time we play, I can do the mammoth.
All right, yeah, that works.
It's an easier battle. I'm not gonna say it's quick, but it should be quicker. There's an ice scaper. Just saw how much nastier those are. Oh, even the raiders have frost weapons? Jeez. Frosting raiders, I thought they were terrible melee units. I missed that they have frost weapons. That means that they do 11 base damage with their melee strikes. More against weak units who are weak to frost. Which...
Yeah. So they do a lot of frost damage?
Yeah, and my Tigrans all have frost weakness. Any other gimmicks I should be aware of before I go and face these? Well, the raiders have shields, but no armor at least. Their harpoons have a chance to mobilize. And also frost weapons, but that only affects melee. They can heal every turn. Petrified, not. Alright, this is going to be a surprisingly tough battle, but yeah, let's do the watchtower. It should be quicker than a mammoth, I think, because cavalry, you have to plan around their high movement, unfortunately. Yeah, I'll raise this stupid watchtower that I've been getting. I was asked to raise. I probably should have. Oh well, I need to get that laboratory going so I can get more knowledge and then get observatory for gold next turn. I was gonna say I can't cast any spells because I don't have the mana. I mean, should have been more careful about that because this is going to be a fight where a spell could save a unit's life if it goes poorly. Bloody Frostlings with their frost. And of course, I swear the map generation tried to screw me over. You know, I'm Tigrans. Tigrans don't like frost. So of course there's Frostlings everywhere on the map, you know? Yeah. And aren't high elves also weak to frost damage? I would have sworn you had a 20% frost. Or no, that was a Tigran unit. That's right. You had a Tigran hero.
Not these candies.
Because these are like desert cats. So yeah, your
Yeah.
nephew was the one you were playing that repo with before.
Yep.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. That's I can hit the raider pretty hard with my sun guards, but I'll probably get murdered by the next other units unless. Hmm. Alright, I think I'm going to consolidate my units instead of letting them decide the terms of this battle. Let's see. Why are their... Oh, their raiders move faster than everyone else. I was like, they should... That's a long movement. Falling back so that, I can consolidate all 6 of my units, because it's going to be kind of important to not have to wait for the other ones. I need to kill them quick, because their melee strikes are nasty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Of course, they do have harpoon throwers and ice scapers, both of which do ranged, but... Guess I'll hide behind these bushes for a little bit of, What's the... Yeah, the ice scapers could close to melee from there.
It doesn't pass.
Cool. Yep. Now they're gonna hit me with a ranged belly. I do like sun shields. They help. Hit some of my units behind the plants and the others had shields, so... Should probably deal with the harpoon thrower first. Unless, no, I could get... Escaper, if it freezes someone, that could be bad. Yeah, if somebody's immobilized, they can still retaliate. Okay. Ooh, nice. Rank up, bleeding. We need to 9 more damage then.
So Scorpion doesn't. He hasn't been in the thing yet. So I guess.
Oh, is your girlfriend? I won't say her name on stream. Is she playing Wildermyth again?
I don't know.
heard something about Scorpion. I'm like, that sounds like the Omen Road campaign. I've heard a little pieces of it. I haven't played it because it costs money. It's the
Yeah.
DLC.
She's just chatting with her friends.
Yeah.
I don't know about what. Yeah, sorry if there's some background audio.
Oh no, I mean I don't mind. It's cool to know people have lives. Um, I
Just one scape, or no, not scaper, harpoon thrower and raider left.
didn't quite kill it. Had a chance, but failed. I don't know if opportunity attacks are probably not reset quite so soon. Shoot. Oh well. These raiders are not to be trifled with. Of course, I'm most worried about is them coming attacking these guys. Flanking. Make them suffer attacks of opportunity. Right? Doesn't show them, but they should have to deal with those. Cool. Really? They're gonna take all those opportunity attacks?
Wow.
That I mean that was.
Well, you got a lot of levels up there. Wow.
Yep. And my
Oh, you
units.
got an elite now.
Yep. And when it gets to champion, it gets extra hit points. I went up with 75 hit points, which is nice for a tier 1 unit.
Yeah.
I did use a race governance thing to give +7 hit points to my sun guards, but yeah.
Sweet. Projectile reflection.
Yeah, I haven't seen that before. Deals half of all
wow.
range damage received back to its source. Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it makes them, because the usual counter to spear units is ranged units. Yeah, these guys, and they can form a really nasty battle line if enemies try and engage with like melee units, and they try and guard, they can break guard. And with the opportunity attacks, the pikes are there mainly to stop enemies from reaching like the shredders in a real battle. I haven't really used shredders much because, well, it hasn't been necessary yet, and I'm trying to train up a front line of sun guards, but yeah, the idea is they'll eventually have some tough sun guards around, and I have to raise this watchtower. Bloody. Yeah, I'll take the gold. I don't need an inexperienced sun guard here. 4-1 gold. Wouldn't have been worth it for effectively 1 gold if I was to build a new watchtower, but now their opinion of me is 1030. Because I've beat 2 quests for them.
Plus you get to build the watchtower anywhere you want now.
Yeah. Oh, their opinion of me will improve by 108 turns, but so I could demand a tribute of them in 8. I forget how long the debuff in opinion lasts from demanding tribute.
I want to say 5 to 10.
I think it might be 10, but it could be 5.
Yeah, I think it's 10. I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, I may want to. Well, no, because that I'll get 13 turns of that. I may want to wait 3 turns. Then they'll grow. Then I'll have 10 turns left of one of their happiness from quests. So I don't need the money the second, and they'll pay me more when they grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the worst time to demand tribute is right before something grows. So this is the outpost, but aren't they already a village? No, they're just an outpost. I'll wait till they grow to a village, and then I'll demand tribute of them. They'll be worth more. But yeah, okay. That fight went surprisingly well. Now I could probably clear these halflings and then the runes eventually. I'm a little nervous. Runes have sometimes really tough guardians. I think some of these units are close to ranking up again. Oh yeah, I'll have another elite sun guard with 4 more experience. I definitely want that before I go into the runes. And these guys are almost veteran. Cool. That fight was thankfully rather quick. Alright, well, I'm just clearing stuff in preparation for my little builder. Can only get this far in a turn. Huh. It's wall still until they can. Just gonna build a road after I reach the bridge tile. Yeah, bridges are a little finicky, but the way you build a bridge is by building a road across the river, basically.
Yeah.
Joe, if you're curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only build it across water 1 tile wide, and it's a little finicky about like needing to have open tiles on both ends that like it's a little and certain angles don't work. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's all right. Let's see. I was exploring with this army. She's got a little more movement. She's a high elf. Should have forestry, not care about. A lost library. Cool. So I'm just positioning stuff before I cut the stream, because that fight was quicker than expected. Oh yeah, now that I know you can see what's guarding, when explored adds, this forge holds resources, so it's just money. This vault holds ancient knowledge. Oh, that'll help my abysmal. Actually, I'm about to finish Garrison's honor. Can I defeat the Sun Guards? You just saw how tough these things can be. That's iffy.
Sun guards where?
On this magma forge. I might be better off with the wisps. They do physical and lightning damage. And the apprentice, it's a little tough, but not as tough as the sun guard.
Read it up on that following.
I mean, it's about to rank up. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh. Well, there is barons there, but... Oh, and there's some kind of node there. I don't know what it is. What a... Whoa. Frostworm, Zephyr Bird, Shock Serpent. On an air node there. Well, I can't say it isn't thematic. Air node.
I realized I was muted. I can't read it because I don't have my phone.
Yeah, next time we play, I'll probably have to clear this Vault of Knowledge.
Yeah.
Or maybe no, I want to wait well, yeah. If I complete this turn, I'll get Garrison's Honor. If I do it next turn, I'll probably just go into Overflow. Oh, I could be a little Overflow already, but yeah, next time we play, I'll probably need to it. And then there's the Mammoth Rider here.
Okay.
Just looking. Foot demolition. See if anyone's about to gain rank. Nope. Not their passive. Won't actually be waiting a turn. Just I don't know. I like to get the unit movement done before I end a turn, end a video.
Yeah.
You know what? That shredder could be useful for clearing those runes. And it'd definitely help protect the... Okie dokie. I don't know if these guys are selected to wait a turn. Cool. That's good. So hope you folks on YouTube enjoyed. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. And may you always find a guiding star to lead you home. Until next time, this is Northstar. Adieu and best luck.